The best data warehouse is a lakehouse. Hello everyone, I'm Naval Yamul. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Data Master. Your home for mastering Databricks with data engineering, data analytics, business intelligence, machine learning, and generative AI. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the bell icon because this new series is going to level up your Databricks skills. I'm super excited to announce a brand new playlist called Databricks SQL, a data warehousing in the cloud. In this series, we will explore how modern cloud data warehousing works with Databricks, from writing queries and visualizing data to building AI powered dashboards. Whether you are preparing for the Databricks Data Analytics Associate certification or you just want to sharpen your data analytics skills with Databricks, this playlist is your one stop learning path. In this video, we will get started with Databricks SQL Workspace. We will explore SQL Query Editor, work with a sample dataset called Bakehouse, and we'll learn how to run and save queries efficiently. We are using a Databricks free edition. If you haven't seen my previous video on how to set up that, so please go and check it out first. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, let's jump into the Databricks official website and then we'll move on to hands-on demo and experience with Databricks SQL. So this is the official website of Databricks SQL, which says the best data warehouse is a lakehouse. So you get a beautiful UI, a user interface where you can start writing your queries, you can save your queries, and you can do a lot of things there. So if you just scroll down, it's a AI powered performance and simplicity. There are so many features come with this AI powered data warehouse, or you can say lakehouse. The first one is your AI BI. So your Databricks SQL helps you to do a self-service artificial intelligence and business intelligence, and everything you get is a serverless. So it's one of the best performance as compared to any of the compute. So you can say get the best price per performance with instance and elastic compute, lower cost, and completely managed infrastructure. And it's completely tied with a Unity catalog or a Lakehouse storage. And you can simply integrate any of the BI tool with this warehouse. And it's tightly integrated with the governance, Unity catalog governance, and you can explore the Lakehouse Federation. If you have data apart from Databricks in any of the data warehousing or databases, you can connect them using this Lakehouse Federation. And there are so many features comes with so many features onto the Databricks SQL side. So let me just go back to the Databricks free edition. You can just sign up to the Databricks free edition without your enterprise account or without your debit card, credit card, anything. Just you need your personal email address and it will be set up in couple of minutes. So once you are on the Databricks workspace, you can just scroll down. You can see this tab called Databricks SQL. So this is specially designed for data analytics team or business intelligence team, those who are looking for data warehousing capabilities, those who want to write a complex SQL queries, build a dashboard or build a report or connect this to your Power BI, doing any reporting. You can use these tabs, or this is for you. This is for the data analytics team. Let us assume that you are a data analytics expert or you are already working with databases, any of the bases or data warehousing. You have tons of years of experience using SQL, using databases, and now you are switching to the Databricks. So Databricks SQL brings a new exclusive warehousing capabilities for all the data analytics and the business intelligence. So all you need to just log into the Databricks workspace and you can just switch to SQL warehouse. So if you click on SQL Warehouse, you can see there are a couple of computes in the premium account, but in the free edition, they are just providing a serverless compute. So one of the serverless compute is already created and the size is 2x small. You cannot create a new compute in the free edition. If you are using an enterprise account, you can create your own SQL warehouse. SQL warehouse, it is you can create it by using a t-shirt size like x small, small, medium, large, and so on. So in the free edition, you won't able to create a new warehouse. So we already have that warehouse. We'll just start it, and it's a serverless. It just spins in 2 to 3 seconds, max 5 seconds, and you don't need to worry about the infrastructure. Databricks will do it for you. You can just click on this play button, and within couple of seconds, the compute will spin. And once the compute spins, then you can just move to the SQL editor and you can start writing the queries there. And here you can see green dot, the status says your compute is running. So to get started, we need to understand very basic of the Databricks data objects. Unlike any databases, in Databricks we have three level namespace. So first we have a catalog. So I'll just move to the catalog. Here you have a catalog. For example, one of my catalog is a dev catalog. In this dev catalog, you have couple of schemas. These are called schemas or databases. And within the databases, you have an objects. That objects can be your tables, your views, or your volumes, models, and so on. So we have catalog, schemas, or databases, and within that you have a physical objects or you have a views. So with this knowledge, you can simply go to the SQL editor. So let us assume that you are a data analytics person coming from a data analytics background. So behind the scene, there's a data engineer who has created a pipeline, or maybe he has transformed the data from bronze to silver, silver to gold. And now, as a data analytics team or a data analytics member, you are trying to query your gold views. So I'm just referring a medallion architecture. So analytics team, business intelligence team hit onto the gold layer to start querying it or try getting insights from this gold layer. Okay. So we are not touching on to the medallion architecture or talking about creating a pipeline and all those things. We are just simply sticking to the data analytics team. Behind the scene, your data engineers have created a goal layer, or you have aggregated data in the goal layer. We are just trying to query that data. So to get started, I'll be using a sample data set. So I'll just click on this to hide the menu bar, and you get that same catalog option. You get the same catalog option in the query editor also, and you can see this query editor here. And this query editor is powered by a lot of AI assistant here. You can simply use that AI assistant from here, or you can also use that assistant feature from here. So you don't need to really write much coding here. You can simply put a simple natural language and your AI assistant will do it for you. Okay, but we'll hit on to this in couple of minutes. You can just switch to the catalog explorer, and for this demo I'm going to use a sample data set or a sample catalog which I have mentioned it. So everyone, those who are logging to the Databricks free edition, you will be getting a samples. You can just click on the samples, and these are schemas. So I'll be using a Bakehouse as one of my schema, and inside this schema Bakehouse I have couple of tables. So I can start querying it. To get started, to start querying these tables or data, all you need is a compute in this section. So we already spin the compute. So I'll just go to this connect button. I'll connect the SQL serverless warehouse to this query editor, and you can start querying it in a very simple way. Like, okay, select star from the table name. So you can simply go to this table or a object, and you can click on these two arrow button that will insert the complete table name. So it uses a three level namespace, as I mentioned: a catalog name, a schema name, and then the object name. You can just simply run it. Suppose if you don't want to use this three level namespace every time, you can simply use a catalog here. From here you can choose the catalog. I'll be using a sample catalog here. You can choose the workspace, a catalog name samples here. And in the samples, I'm using a schema name called Bakehouse. And the next time when you are querying it, suppose I want to query the next table. For example, I want to query the transaction table. So you can simply say select star from the sales transaction table, sales underscore transactions. Okay, now you don't need to provide the three level namespace or a two level namespace, because at the top I have already mentioned the catalog name and the schema name. So you can just close this statement by using a semicolon. You can select this and you can run this. The moment you run it, it is going to query, and by using the serverless compute, and you can see the results here. To get some more room, more space, you can just close this tab. If you want, you can open it from here again by just clicking on this workspace, and you can even click on this catalog explorer also, and you have a workspace button where you get all your queries saved. So the best practice is you can just give a name for your query. By default it is untitled with a timestamp, but let us give a good name for our query, saying that this is our bakehouse sample data. Okay, queries bakehouse queries. Okay, now lot of things are there here. You can run this entire statement. You can select these two, or you can run the entire page, and you should see two results here. Can you see two results here? So first result is on the customer review, second result is on the transactions. And you can do lot of things here. For example, you can see here we have top 1000 records, and you can download this first 1000 records. You can download them in the form of CSV, and even you can download them in the form of Excel also. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing is you can explore the columns. So let us imagine that I have maybe 120 130 columns. So exploring the column names becomes very tedious in any traditional databases or data warehouses. But Databricks SQL helps you to explore the column names by just clicking on this button here, and you can start exploring it. Suppose I want to just check transaction ID and the total price. I can do it. I can just click on transaction ID and the total price, and boom, the results are here. So you really don't need to write a query for selecting the columns. You can just explore it by using this feature. Amazing feature. I'll just click on OK, and even you can search the column name from here. Suppose I want to know what is my quantity. Yes, I can just click on quantity, and you can get very helpful feature. And apart from this, you have lot of other filters also. Suppose I want to know, like, what are all the records where the payment method is Visa, for example. So what we generally do is we go to this SQL query and we start writing the query using a where clause, and then we mention the payment method is Visa or MasterCard and so on. It's completely AI powered. You can just click on this filter button, and it opens up this tab where you can simply write a natural language, and it helps you to filter out the things. For example, I will simply say payment method Visa. Okay, Visa. And I'll just click on enter, and wow, it detected it. It also maintains like payment method that contains Visa, and you can see all the records where your payment method is Visa. You can keep on adding a filters here. You can keep on adding a filter. You can also use a AI assistant feature here, or you can add it manually. You can say that wherever my um, payment ID is, for example, payment method is equal to, not equal to Visa, MasterCard, and so on. You can do that. So these all features are available in this SQL Query Editor. So once you write the queries, once you can explore few columns from here, you can filter out the things. You can save this queries if you want to come back to these queries later on, you can save it by just going to this tab, click on save, and it gets saved now. And all your queries can be tracked in the queries tab. You can see here. So SQL Editor is a place where we write our queries. Queries tab is a place where we save all our queries. So you can just switch to the SQL queries and you can see these are my previous queries, and this is the query which we have written now. You can keep them in the favorite tabs also. You can just click on this favorite and you can find them later on in the favorite tabs. The moment you click on it, it will take you to the query editor. Click on it, it will take you to the query editor. Yes, so whatever the queries you have written it, you can find all that queries at one place. Suppose I want to know what is the count of the payment method. Simple. So what I generally do is I will write a group by based on the payment method and then I'll do a count on top of it. Okay, simple. Grouping and then aggregating using a count, or maybe I want to know what is the total price, some mean max on top of the payment method. I can write a queries on this, or I can use an AI assistant for this. So AI assistant is simply amazing. You can just click on generate and you can simply write the simple natural language what you are looking for. So I'll just say count of payment method. Okay, let us see whether this will give me the correct query or not. Okay, I'll just click on generate. So your AI assistant is amazing. It is generating a SQL query for us. If you want, you can do certain changes or you can simply accept it. And the moment it accepts it, you can select these all. You can select it from here or you can select it from this lines and you can just click on run the query. And amazing, boom. You can see that a SQL query was generated by an AI assistant powered by the Databricks, and you got your results here. So the total MasterCard, Visa, the total count is this much. Amazing. Not only the results, you can do more things here, like you can build a visual on top of it. We are going to work on Databricks dashboards in a separate video in detail, but if you have queried something, you have done some aggregation, and if you want to visualize this query results, you can do it by simply clicking on this plus button and it will help you to visualize that. So there are a lot of other features here, like you can take a bar chart or a line chart or a pie chart and so on. So within a second you can create a visual by just clicking on that add button. Amazing. Can you see that? So this was my query results. And by just clicking on this plus button, it will add a visualization. And I have created a visual. You can save this visual. You can download this visual. You can download it in a CSV, or you can even download this visual from here. Click on download and it downloads a PNG file here. Okay, you can see PNG file. And even you can add this visual to your dashboard. If you want, you can edit this visual. You can add, you can change the color if you wish to. Maybe you can see there are so many colors, or you can change it from the code. And even you can change the, you can add a data labels also. This makes more meaningful. I'll save it. You can see the visual here. So within few seconds, your AI assistant helped us to write a query. We created a query results, and then we also created a visual on top of it. Amazing. This is really amazing what Databricks SQL does. Now, I would like to show you a few more things here. Maybe that is not available in any of the data warehousing things. So I'll just minimize this. Now I don't need this select star. This was just for a demo. I would like to comment this queries. I'll just comment this by using the hyphen here. Okay, so these queries got commented, and now this is a single query in this Bakehouse query page. Now I will save this query. You can use Control S or you can just click on save. Now just imagine that I'm working in an organization in one of the instance, and I want to ask my teammate or maybe other data analytics group to check my queries or we can work together. Yes, you can share your queries with your teammates by just clicking on this share button. And the moment you click on share, you can add your individuals or you can add groups as well, and then you can assign them a role, like whether you want them to manage this query page or you just want them to view it or you want them to edit it or run it and so on. You can invite them and you can ask them to manage this. Once you share your queries, they will be getting the same queries in their queries tab and you can collaboratively work together. And apart from sharing it, we have an scheduling feature. This is amazing again. So you just click on scheduling feature and it will create a job behind the scene. The job name is very similar to your query page name. So in our case, it's a Bakehouse queries. And now let us assume that we are handling an incremental data or a streaming data, and we are getting updates on these table called sales transaction table on a daily basis. So we want to run this query and figure out the aggregations on a daily basis. So we can schedule that maybe every day you can run this. You can say at particular time, or even you can create a cron syntax. If you're not aware of cron syntax, it's like a syntax in many open source website. You'll get it at what date and time you want to schedule it. So you can mention it like on Monday to Friday I want to schedule at 12 a.m. or maybe at 9 p.m. You can just mention all the dates and times and you can put that cron syntax here. So this job will schedule depending upon your cron syntax. So now I will keep it very simple, like can you do a refresh on a daily basis or maybe a weekly basis, monthly basis and so on. And one cool feature is even you can schedule it for every minute also. So I request participants, if you are trying this scheduling feature, you please try this. And once you have done with your sample refresh, I want you to stop this schedule or you delete this schedule. The reason is if you keep it for 1 minute and you can just click on create, this query gets refreshed every 1 minute. So your compute will keep on spinning it 24 into 7 now, because we have mentioned it scheduling it every minute. So you might lose all your credits in this free edition. It becomes very difficult. So you can test it, you can try it, and once it is done, you can just simply go to these three dots. You can delete this or you can pause it. So in many enterprises also, or in the free editions also, instead of telling many times, people just leave this as 1 minute and they realize it later on, they have lost all their credits. Now you can see my query got refreshed. You can see the stats also. You can monitor that. The status shows it is succeeded. We are not handling any real-time data in behind the scene, or my table is not updating it. But yes, if your table is updating, you should see the changes in your records. Okay, you should see the changes in your records. Now behind the scene, as I mentioned, the moment you scheduled it, it's going to create a job. So I'll just go to the jobs. So these jobs are basically designed for data engineers, but when it comes to Databricks, you as a data analytics also you can create a jobs. It's very simple, and you can see this Bakehouse query job was already created by using this query editor. With just 1 or 2 clicks we created it, and you can see it is getting refreshed every 1 minute. So it was refreshed at 118. Now in 1 minute again it will start refreshing it. So you get inside it and you get all the runs, all the details, that it took 12 seconds to run, it took 13 seconds to run, and so on. It was triggered at 118, 119. In next 1 minute again it will start refreshing it. So if you leave it in the same state, you might lose all your credits. I'm repeating it again because your compute will keep on spinning up every minute. Okay, so your compute never terminates and this keeps on running. So this was just for a demo. You can refresh it per minute also. There are some BI tools available where you cannot refresh it maybe 8 times a day or 16 times a day or so on. You have to pay a premium for that, but Databricks is not charging you any additional fees on it. All you need is just a serverless compute. So you are just paying for a serverless compute, and you can refresh these as we progress. And one thing, if you remember or if you look carefully, the next query, it just took 3 seconds to refresh and not 12 seconds. Why? What is the reason? So the queries are being cached. Now, how do we know that the queries are cached? So I'll just show you that in the query editor tab itself. So let me switch to the query editor tab. And first thing I would like to do is pause this schedule, or I'll simply go and delete this. I'll delete this. So this is not going to refresh anymore now. I'll just cancel it. And now my queries got refreshed, and the results I'm getting is very fast. It's just taking 2 seconds, 3 seconds to query it. Why? What is the reason? Because the queries are being cached. The query results are being cached. And how do I check that? So once you run the queries, at the bottom, you get an option called See Performance. Just click on this performance and you get a statement that you have recently ran. Just click on it and boom, it shows you a complete query profile. It shows you when it was finished and it shows you what's the query. You can see this is the query. Okay, let me go back. Let me click again. Okay, and here you get a complete query profile. It shows you the timeline, everything in detail. You can just click on this query profile and you can see these are the steps that happened behind the scene. So it scanned the table, then it has done aggregation. It has converted columnar to row because it was a delta table. So when we are querying it, or when we get a results, it's in the row format. So it has to convert columnar to row, and then it has limited the step number 2, and finally you got a query, or you got a result query stage. It's also giving you a detail like at each step or each stage what was the memory and how many records it returned. So initially there were 3000 records, then the grouping happened, it came with only 3 records, then it converted to columnar to row, and so on. All the details are shown here. Now what I will do, I'll just try to run this query once again. I'll just try to run this query second time or third time. The moment I ran it, now I get the same option. I'll click on it, and now you don't get any query profiling. Why? What is the reason? The reason is cache. It says that, come on, the queries was cached. The query results are cached. So no more query profiling. So you can find out in detail like whether your queries are cached or not. If it is not cached, you can see the time spent on each step. You can check the memory of each step. You can diagnose it in detail. In coming videos, I'll explain you how to diagnose it, how to check if your queries are taking very long time, maybe if it is taking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, how do we diagnose it, how do we optimize it? I will try to explain them in the coming videos. So this is how we can check the performance of the query. Now if you ask me that, okay, this was the previous query, what about the previous queries that I have ran? Can we check the query profiling for that? Yes, even you can check them in the query history tab. So I'll just go to this tab again, and here you have an option called query history. So query history is a place where you find out every queries you are running it on your workspace. You can check all the queries here and on which compute you ran. In this case, we just have a serverless compute, but in organization you will have couple of serverless computes for dev, for prod, or you will have a couple of pipeline computes like a serverless compute, DLT, and so on. So, and you will have a couple of users also, like your teammates, your colleagues, and so on. You can filter out by user. In this case, I'm the only user here, and you can even filter out by the calendar. You can filter out by compute, whether it's a pipeline compute or a serverless compute, and so on. Every query that you are running on the serverless compute will be tracked in the query history tab. You can even filter out checking like which queries took more than 1 minute, for example, you can just apply it. I don't think so there's any query that's took more than 1 minute for me, but yeah, you can filter out from here. You can check the status like whether your queries are in queue, whether it's in running, finished, or cancelled. Even you can filter out by using a statements like you want to know who dropped the table, who deleted the table, who altered it, who ran the copy command, who ran the optimize command. You can check all that from here. And even you can filter out by statement ID. Means every query you are running it on the serverless compute, it is actually creating a statement ID. And you can see this query also got cached, so that's the reason why your query profiling is not available for this. You can click on the next query. Even this query is also cached, so you don't see the query profiling for this. If you just scroll down, you can see every query you are running it, it will create a history and you can track them in the query history tab. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap. So we started with a Databricks SQL, a completely serverless or a data warehousing capabilities in the cloud in the lakehouse. So I've explained you how to start a SQL warehouse. If you're using a free edition, a serverless compute would be there. Just spin this and it takes just couple of seconds to start. You can switch to query editor or you can switch to SQL editor where you start all your queries, write your queries. You can track the results here in the bottom and you can check the performance here. You can play with some AI features around this. You have an option called generate. It helps you to generate a SQL query. And you have few advanced features, I would say, like exploring the column, filtering the columns, and so on, filtering the records, and so on. And you can share this query with your teammates, your friends, your colleagues. You can save this and you can track all your queries in the queries tab, and even you can schedule this query maybe starting with every minute also. Behind the scene it actually creates a job name. So that was getting started on the Databricks SQL. I hope you found the session valuable. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. The next video we are going to discuss about the Databricks SQL is on the dashboard, Jenny, and the alert. So we have completed Databricks SQL queries. We have also seen the query history and the SQL warehouse. So in the next video, we are going to discuss about dashboard, Jenny, and the alerts. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching again. Bye bye. See you in the next video. Thank you.